movie opens in complete darkness. No music, only the sound of deep ocean currents moving somewhere far below the earth. Then suddenly, a distress signal cuts through the silence. A submarine captain whispers one final sentence before transmission ends. Something is alive down here. Static, black screen. The title appears. Kraken. The story begins in the North Atlantic Ocean, near a frozen research zone abandoned years earlier after multiple mysterious disappearances. Officially, governments claimed the station collapsed because of underwater earthquakes, but the truth was never revealed. Far beneath the surface, something ancient was sleeping. We are introduced to Commander Elias Kane, a former Navy deep-sea rescue specialist haunted by the death of his younger brother Noah during an underwater expedition 10 years ago. Elias lives alone near a cold coastal harbor in Norway. He barely speaks to anyone. Every night, he listens to old audio recordings recovered from Noah's final mission. The recording always ends the same way: screaming, metal tearing apart, then silence. Elias never accepted the official explanation. He believes something attacked the submarine, but nobody believed him. One stormy evening, military officials arrive unexpectedly at his house. Among them is Dr. Lena Volkov, a brilliant marine biologist who specializes in deep ocean organisms. Lena explains that a classified drilling station named Helios 9 has stopped responding after detecting impossible biological movement 2 miles beneath the ocean floor. Entire crews vanished. Security footage became corrupted. Escape pods returned empty. The government wants Elias to lead a recovery mission. Because the station is built inside unstable underwater trenches, impossible for ordinary rescue teams. At first, Elias refuses, but Lena reveals something shocking. The final signal from Helios 9 contains the same unidentified sound pattern found in Noah's lost submarine recordings. For the first time in 10 years, Elias believes he may finally discover what really killed his brother. He accepts the mission. The team boards an advanced underwater vessel called the Abyssal. The crew includes Lena Volkov, marine biologist; Marcus Reed, weapons specialist; Jun Park, sonar engineer; Sophia Mendez, systems navigator; Captain Victor Soren, leader of the vessel; Elias Kane, mission commander. As the submarine descends into the ocean depths, the atmosphere slowly becomes terrifying. Sunlight disappears. Everything outside becomes endless black water. Jun notices strange sonar pulses moving around the submarine. At first, they appear like giant whales, but the movement patterns are wrong. Too intelligent, too coordinated. Something is following them. Meanwhile, Lena studies recovered biological samples from Helios 9. Inside one sealed container, she discovers unknown tissue, still alive despite freezing temperatures. The cells regenerate rapidly, almost aggressively. The deeper the submarine travels, the more equipment begins malfunctioning. Compasses spin randomly. Radio frequencies distort. Metal walls vibrate with low growling sounds. Then suddenly, the submarine lights flicker. Everyone freezes. Outside the window, something massive moves past them, too fast to fully see. Only a gigantic shadow. Marcus immediately prepares weapons, but Elias orders everyone to stay calm. He has seen this behavior before, exactly before Noah disappeared. Hours later, they finally reach Helios 9. The station sits silently attached to the side of a giant underwater trench. Half the structure is destroyed. Emergency lights blink weakly. No movement, no signs of life. The crew enters the station wearing deep pressure suits. Inside, the atmosphere feels horrifying. Water drips from ceilings. Doors are bent inward, like something enormous forced its way through. Bloodstains cover walls, but there are no bodies, only drag marks leading deeper inside the station. Sophia accesses security recordings. The footage shows scientists panicking after detecting huge biological activity below the trench. One scientist screams that the drilling awakened something. Then cameras begin shaking violently. A giant tentacle suddenly smashes through reinforced glass. The recording ends. Everyone stands frozen. Marcus whispers one word: Kraken. Lena explains that ancient Scandinavian legends spoke of massive, intelligent creatures living beneath frozen oceans. For centuries, sailors believed them myths. But now, she thinks the legends were based on real prehistoric predators, hidden in unexplored trenches. Elias notices a locked laboratory, untouched by damage. Inside, they discover horrifying evidence. Scientists at Helios 9 were not merely drilling for minerals. They found ancient biological fossils buried beneath the trench. DNA evidence suggested the creature may have survived since prehistoric eras. Government agencies secretly funded experiments attempting to extract regenerative properties from its cells. But during excavation, they accidentally opened a massive underground cavern. Something escaped. Suddenly, the station trembles. Emergency alarms activate. Jun detects movement outside. Multiple signals. Fast approaching. The lights go out. Complete darkness. Only red emergency lights remain. Then they hear it. A deep, monstrous clicking sound, echoing through metal corridors. Closer, closer. Marcus raises his weapon. Nobody breathes. Then a crew member's body suddenly slams against the observation glass from outside. The corpse is twisted unnaturally. Tentacle suction, wounds cover his skin. Everyone panics. The glass begins cracking. A giant shadow appears behind the body. Huge, glowing, eyes slowly open in the darkness. The creature attacks. Glass explodes inward. Water floods the corridor. a gigantic tentacle grabs Marcus and drags him screaming into the darkness. Gunfire erupts. Elias barely seals emergency doors before the entire section floods. The crew escapes deeper into the station, but now they realize the truth. They are trapped at the bottom of the ocean with a monster far larger than anything imaginable. Sophia discovers escape submarines were destroyed from outside. The Kraken intentionally prevented escape, which means the creature is not only powerful, it is intelligent. As the survivors regroup, Lena studies mucus left behind by the attack. Under microscopic imaging, she discovers something terrifying. The creature's nervous system reacts similarly to advanced mammalian intelligence. Its neural complexity exceeds dolphins, possibly even humans, in certain adaptive functions. This is not a simple animal. It learns, it remembers, and it hunts strategically. Meanwhile, Elias explores an abandoned lower chamber alone. There, he finds a hidden memorial wall containing names of previous missing expeditions spanning nearly 50 years. Governments knew about disappearances for decades. They covered everything up. One old photograph catches Elias' attention. His brother Noah appears in the image, standing beside scientists near the same trench years earlier. Elias realizes Noah's mission was never accidental. He was sent here intentionally. Suddenly, the power completely fails. Only emergency suit lights remain. Then Elias hears breathing behind him. He slowly turns. Nothing but water ripples nearby. Something huge moves beneath the flooded floor. Without warning, a smaller creature attacks. Not the Kraken itself, a juvenile offspring. Fast, violent. Its skin resembles black armored squid flesh, mixed with shark-like teeth. Elias fights desperately, using welding tools. The creature nearly tears through his suit before Lena arrives and electrocutes it using exposed power cables. The juvenile dies, but moments later, the station begins shaking violently. The mother sensed the death. Everyone hears an earth-shaking roar echo through the trench. The real Kraken has arrived. Outside the observation windows, enormous tentacles slowly wrap around the station. The structure groans under pressure. John estimates the creature may exceed 500 feet in length. Impossible. No known organism should survive at this scale. Yet there it is, watching them, waiting. Captain Victor suggests abandoning the station immediately and escaping through maintenance tunnels leading to their submarine dock. But Lena refuses. She believes the Kraken is protecting something deeper beneath the trench, possibly eggs. If governments attempt military destruction, the entire ecosystem could erupt into catastrophe. Elias does not care about science anymore. He wants answers. He accesses Noah's classified expedition files. Inside the logs, Noah described hearing rhythmic sounds beneath the ocean floor, resembling communication, not random animal noise. Language. Noah believed the Kraken species may communicate through pressure waves traveling across oceans. Before the final log ends, Noah says one chilling sentence: "We are not exploring their world. They are studying ours." The message cuts out. Elias realizes the Kraken may have observed humans for decades, maybe centuries. The survivors move through maintenance tunnels toward the submarine dock. The journey becomes horrifying. Flooded corridors, dead bodies floating silently, power failures, constant, distant clicking sounds. Then Sophia suddenly disappears behind the group. Elias turns. Only blood remains floating in the water. Something dragged her away silently. Panic spreads. John begins mentally collapsing. He believes nobody will survive. Suddenly, all station speakers activate by themselves. An old recording begins playing. It is Noah's voice. "If anyone hears this, do not let them reach the surface." Everyone stops. Elias stares in shock. Then the recording continues. The Kraken are migrating. Before he can explain further, a gigantic tentacle smashes through the corridor. The station starts collapsing. Water explodes inward with crushing pressure. The survivors run desperately toward the submarine dock, while the Kraken tears entire sections apart. Jun sacrifices himself to seal blast doors behind the others. As doors close, Elias watches Jun disappear beneath giant moving shadows in the flooding chamber. The remaining survivors finally reach the abyssal submarine. But outside the dock, they see something terrifying. Hundreds of glowing shapes moving in darkness. Not one Kraken, an entire colony. The ocean beneath them is alive. Part 1 ends with the submarine launching desperately into the trench, while a colossal eye opens beneath the darkness below. Not the mother, something far larger, ancient, watching them rise. Part 2, the abyss awakens. The submarine rockets through the dark trench, while warning alarms scream through every corridor. Inside the abyssal, fear spreads faster than the flooding water left behind at Helios 9. Nobody speaks. Nobody even breathes properly. Outside the glass windows, endless darkness surrounds them. But that darkness no longer feels empty. It feels alive. Commander Elias Kane grips the control rail tightly, while Captain Victor pushes the engines beyond safe limits. The submarine shakes violently. Behind them, gigantic sonar signatures move through the trench. Following, hunting, Lena studies the sonar readings carefully. Her face slowly changes. Not panic, something worse. Recognition. She whispers quietly, "They're coordinating." Elias turns toward her. "What does that mean?" Lena zooms the sonar display. The giant creatures are not attacking randomly. They move in formation, cutting off escape routes, driving the submarine upward toward narrower canyon walls. Like wolves trapping prey, these creatures are planning, thinking. The realization terrifies everyone. Suddenly, the submarine jolts hard. A massive tentacle slams against the hull. Metal bends inward. Emergency lights flash red. Captain Victor shouts for stabilization. Another impact shakes the submarine. Then another. The Kraken are testing the hull, trying to crush them. Marcus, empty chair, still sits near the weapons console. Nobody looks at it. Nobody wants to remember how quickly he disappeared. Elias forces himself to focus. He asks Jun's replacement AI navigation system for trench mapping. The holographic display reveals something impossible. Below the trench lies a massive underground opening larger than entire cities. A hidden ecosystem beneath the ocean floor. Lena stares at the image. "This isn't a nest," she says. "It's a civilization." Suddenly, all sonar systems fail. Complete silence fills the submarine. No readings, no movement, nothing. That silence becomes more frightening than the attacks. Captain Victor slows the engines. Outside the windows, black water drifts endlessly. Then slowly, glowing blue lights begin appearing in the darkness. Hundreds of them, tiny at first, then larger. The crew realizes they are surrounded by bioluminescent organisms, swimming in strange, synchronized patterns. The glowing creatures spiral around the abyssal like a ritual. Lena becomes mesmerized. She recognizes mathematical symmetry in the movement, not instinct, communication. The lights suddenly shift together, forming symbols, ancient patterns, almost language. Then a gigantic shape moves beneath them. Every glowing organism instantly scatters. The mother Kraken rises from the darkness. Even through reinforced glass, the scale feels impossible. Its eye alone is larger than the submarine. Black armored flesh stretches endlessly through the abyss. Rows of glowing scars cover its body like ancient battle wounds. The creature does not attack. It simply watches them, studying. Elias cannot move. For a brief moment, he feels the creature looking directly into him, not like an animal, like intelligence. Then suddenly, the Kraken releases a deep pulse sound. Every light inside the submarine flickers. Crew members collapse from intense pressure vibrations. Blood drips from Victor's ears. Lena screams for everyone to cover their heads. The sound continues growing stronger. The submarine systems begin rebooting by themselves. Old archived files activate automatically across monitors. Hidden government footage floods the screens. Footage from decades earlier. The crew watches in horror. In the videos, military expeditions discovered the trench during the Cold War. Submarines recorded massive, unidentified life forms beneath the ice. Instead of leaving, governments attempted to weaponize them. Scientists experimented with sonic frequencies designed to control Kraken movement. Most missions ended in disaster. Entire fleets vanished, but governments hid everything. One final video appears. Elias freezes. His brother Noah stands inside a laboratory, speaking directly into camera. Noah looks terrified. He explains that the Kraken species possesses highly advanced neural communication. Their minds connect through low-frequency oceanic pulses, capable of traveling across continents. According to Noah, the creatures are not attacking humanity without reason. Humans invaded their territory first. Then Noah reveals the most terrifying truth yet. There are older creatures beneath them, he says. The Krakens are guardians. The video suddenly cuts. At that exact moment, a violent tremor erupts through the trench. The ocean floor cracks open beneath the submarine. The abyssal begins falling downward into the hidden cavern below. Captain Victor desperately fires stabilizers. Nothing works. The submarine spirals uncontrollably into darkness. Then suddenly, silence. The vessel crashes into soft sediment deep within the underground abyss. Emergency systems barely remain active. Outside the windows, the crew sees something beyond imagination. An enormous hidden ocean, cavern illuminated by glowing underwater forests. Massive prehistoric creatures swim peacefully through the depths. Ancient ecosystems, untouched by humanity. Towering skeletal remains of creatures, larger than blue whales, lie across the canyon floor. And everywhere, giant egg structures, thousands of them. The Kraken colony. Lena whispers in disbelief. They've been down here for millions of years. Elias notices something else. Huge stone pillars rise from the ocean floor, covered in strange markings. Not natural formations. Structures, evidence of intelligence. Before anyone can react, motion sensors detect incoming movement. Several juvenile Krakens surround the submarine. Unlike the mother, these are smaller, only 30 to 40 feet long, but their speed is terrifying. One creature smashes against the hull repeatedly. Another wraps tentacles around engine systems. The submarine loses power. Lena stops Elias from ordering weapons fire. If we attack, she says, the entire colony will destroy us. Then something unexpected happens. The juvenile Krakens suddenly retreat. Every creature in the cavern becomes still, frozen. Even the water currents seem to stop. A low vibration echoes through the abyss. Deeper, older, the mother Kraken immediately lowers itself toward the cavern floor. Like bowing, the crew watches in confusion. Then a colossal shadow begins rising beneath the ancient ruins. At first, Elias believes it is part of the mountain, but the shape keeps moving. Larger, longer, an eye slowly opens beneath layers of sediment. The submarine lights reflect across a creature so enormous the human mind struggles to process it. This is not a Kraken. This is something ancient beyond recorded history. Its body stretches across the entire cavern like a living continent. Part 3: The Lost Colony. the ocean erupts, far above the frozen Atlantic waters. Military destroyers shake violently as massive shockwaves burst upward from beneath the sea. Entire waves rise like underwater earthquakes. Radar systems fail. Satellites lose signal across hundreds of miles. And from the center of the storm, something colossal begins ascending toward the surface. Inside the abyssal, chaos consumes every corridor. Emergency lights flash red. Steam explodes from damaged pipes. Crew members struggle to breathe as pressure systems fail one after another. Commander Elias Kane grips the control station, while Captain Victor fights to stabilize the submarine. But nothing responds properly anymore. Outside the windows, the ancient Titan moves upward through collapsing stone walls like a living apocalypse. Entire mountain-sized rock formations crack apart around its body. The sheer scale of the creature destroys the human mind's ability to understand what it is seeing. Lena stares silently. Even as a scientist, she cannot fully process it. The Titan's skin resembles black volcanic armor, layered with glowing blue fractures, pulsing like veins. Each movement creates sonic vibrations strong enough to fracture underwater cliffs. This creature existed before recorded civilization, possibly before humanity itself. The military submarines continue firing torpedoes. Huge explosions light the abyss, but the attacks only make the Titan more violent. One gigantic tentacle erupts from darkness and crushes an armored submarine instantly. The vessel folds like paper. Another military craft attempts retreat. Too late. Juvenile Krakens swarm around it. Tentacles tear through metal, while terrified soldiers scream over radio transmissions. Then static. Silence. Elias realizes humanity has already lost control. But amid the destruction, something else catches his attention. The mother Kraken is not attacking the abyssal. Instead, it keeps positioning itself between the submarine and the Titan, protecting them or guiding them. Lena suddenly remembers something from Noah's final classified notes. She rushes toward the archive console and reopens the recovered files. Among corrupted documents, she discovers a hidden encrypted audio log, never included in government records. The file begins playing. Noah's exhausted voice echoes through the submarine. If you're hearing this, then the Titan has awakened. Everyone freezes. Noah explains that years earlier, his expedition discovered ruins buried beneath the trench. Not natural ruins, ancient structures, evidence that humans were not the first intelligent species to encounter the Krakens. Long before modern civilization, an unknown culture lived near the frozen oceans. According to carvings found inside the ruins, those ancient people worshipped the Titan as a god sleeping beneath the earth. But eventually, something happened. The carvings described a great war between surface civilizations and creatures from the abyss. The Kraken colony sealed the Titan beneath the ocean prevent global destruction. For thousands of years, the creatures remained guardians until humans arrived again. Noah's breathing grows shaky in the recording. We were never supposed to wake it. The log cuts suddenly. Then another hidden file appears automatically. This one contains coordinates. Deep inside the cavern, near the ancient ruins, Lena believes Noah left the location intentionally. Perhaps he discovered a way to communicate with the creatures or stop them. Captain Victor refuses immediately. He wants to escape before the trench fully collapses. But Elias knows they cannot simply flee. If the Titan reaches the surface, millions could die. The only chance is discovering what Noah found. Elias orders Victor to follow the coordinates. Reluctantly, the captain obeys. The abyssal moves carefully through collapsing underwater canyons while war explodes around them. Outside, Krakens battle military submarines in horrifying silence. No music, only metal tearing, water pressure exploding, distant monstrous cries vibrating through the abyss. Then suddenly, all combat stops. Every creature freezes. The Titan releases another pulse. This one stronger. The shockwave disables every nearby submarine instantly. Military vessels drift powerless through darkness. The Titan continues ascending. Nothing can stop it. As the abyssal approaches Noah's coordinates, the environment begins changing. Ancient stone formations emerge from the ocean floor. Massive pillars covered in glowing symbols stretch upward into darkness. Entire ruined pathways lie buried beneath sediment. It looks like an underwater city, a lost civilization hidden for thousands of years. Lena scans the symbols. They resemble no known language. Yet strangely, Elias begins recognizing patterns. Images flood his memory. The visions the Titan showed him earlier. He realizes the symbols tell a story. The rise, the war, the sealing of the Titan, and then one final image repeated across multiple walls. A human figure standing beside the Kraken colony, not fighting them, helping them. Noah. Elias stares in disbelief. His brother had returned here after discovering the truth. But why? The submarine reaches a massive stone gateway, half buried beneath the canyon. At its center stands a circular structure, glowing faint blue. Lena identifies strange energy readings. The ruins are still active. Against Victor's objections, Elias, Lena, and Victor leave the submarine wearing deep pressure suits. The ancient city feels hauntingly silent. Their lights cut through drifting particles, while giant shadows move far away in darkness. Somewhere above them, the Titan continues climbing toward the surface. Time is running out. As they move deeper into the ruins, Elias notices enormous claw marks across the structures, signs of ancient battle. Then they discover skeletons, hundreds of them, not human, tall humanoid remains with elongated skulls and massive rib structures. Lena kneels beside one carefully. "These aren't myths," she whispers. "There was another civilization down here." Suddenly, their suit lights flicker. The glowing symbols across the walls begin activating. One by one, the entire city slowly illuminates. Ancient energy pulses through the ruins. Then a giant holographic projection appears in the center chamber. A recording, an ancient memory. The figures in the projection resemble the skeletal remains around them. The lost civilization. The hologram shows the Titan attacking massive coastal cities thousands of years earlier. Entire civilizations drowned beneath giant waves. The Krakens fought desperately against the Titan, alongside the ancient beings. Together, they managed to imprison it beneath the trench, using sonic resonance structures built across the city. But the process nearly destroyed both species. The surviving guardians remained below the ocean forever, waiting, protecting the prison. Lena realizes Helios 9 accidentally destroyed part of the ancient resonance system during drilling. That is why the Titan awakened. The prison weakened. Then the hologram changes. A human suddenly appears in the ancient chamber. Noah. The recording is recent, only 10 years old. Elias steps forward. Noah speaks directly toward the ancient projector. "If anyone finds this, listen carefully. The Titan cannot be killed. Every military attempt only strengthens its aggression. But the Krakens are still trying to contain it. There is one remaining resonance core beneath the city. If activated, it may force the Titan back into hibernation." Elias feels hope for the first time, but Noah's expression darkens. The problem is, someone must stay behind to activate it manually. The recording ends. Suddenly, the ruins shake violently. A distant roar echoes through the ocean. The Titan has reached the upper trench layers. Surface destruction has begun. Back aboard the Abyssal, emergency radios suddenly reconnect. Terrified military transmissions flood the speakers. Massive tsunamis are forming across nearby coastlines. Oil platforms have vanished. Entire naval fleets are being destroyed. And then comes the worst message. Northern Defense Command has approved nuclear launch authorization. They plan to collapse the trench completely, even if millions die. Lena panics. A nuclear strike beneath. The trench could awaken volcanic fault systems across the Atlantic. Global catastrophe. Elias realizes they have only one option. Find the resonance core. Activate it before the military launches. The crew follows ancient pathways, descending deeper beneath the ruined city. As they move lower, biological growth spreads across the walls. Massive organic tunnels merge with stone architecture. The line between civilization and living organism becomes blurred. Then they hear movement. Fast, watching them, juvenile Krakens emerge from darkness. Dozens, their glowing eyes surround the chamber. Captain Victor raises his weapon immediately, but Elias stops him. The creatures are not attacking. They are observing. One juvenile slowly approaches Elias. Its enormous eye reflects his suit light. Then suddenly, Elias experiences another vision. Noah standing beside the same creature years earlier, communicating through sonic frequencies. The Krakens trusted him. Elias realizes the creatures understand far more than humans imagined. The juvenile turns and begins swimming deeper into the ruins, almost inviting them to follow. Lena believes it is leading them toward the resonance core. They follow carefully through giant tunnels beneath the city. Soon they enter an enormous chamber unlike anything before. At the center floats a colossal crystal-like structure connected to ancient machinery. Blue energy pulses rhythmically through the chamber, the resonance core. But before they can approach, armed soldiers emerge from shadows. Black tactical armor, Northern Defense Command. Their leader removes his helmet. Admiral Rayner, the same man who ordered the attack. Rayner reveals the horrifying truth. Governments knew about the resonance core for decades, but they never intended to preserve the Kraken species. They wanted control over the Titan's sonic abilities as a biological weapon. Noah attempted exposing the operation years earlier, so they silenced him. Elias explodes in rage. "You killed my brother." Rayner remains cold. "Your brother endangered humanity." The Admiral orders soldiers to seize the resonance core. At gunpoint, Lena warns him activating the system incorrectly could destroy the entire trench. Rayner does not care. He believes humanity must dominate the creatures before they dominate humanity. Suddenly, the chamber trembles violently. The Titan's roar echoes directly through the ruins. Huge cracks split across the ceiling. Water floods inward. The juvenile Krakens become aggressive. One soldier fires. Instant chaos erupts. The creatures attack. Tentacles rip soldiers into darkness. Gunfire flashes through flooding corridors. Captain Victor battles security teams, while Elias and Lena race toward the resonance core. Admiral Rayner grabs the activation controls first. Ignoring Lena's warnings, he overloads the system. The chamber explodes with blinding blue energy. For one horrifying second, everything becomes silent. Then the Titan screams. Not anger, pain. The overload destabilizes the entire ancient prison network. The resonance core begins collapsing. Lena realizes the truth instantly. If the core explodes, the Titan will fully awaken. Nothing on Earth will stop it. Part 3 ends as Elias watches the ancient chamber tear apart, while the Titan's massive shadow rises toward the ocean's surface above. And somewhere inside the collapsing ruins, Noah's final hidden message is still waiting. Part 4. Beneath the frozen grave. The resonance chamber collapses. Ancient pillars crack apart, while violent energy storms explode across the underwater ruins. Blue light flashes through the darkness, like lightning trapped beneath the ocean. Commander Elias Kane is thrown violently across the chamber as the resonance core overloads. Alarms scream through his damaged suit. Cracks spread across the glass visor. Around him, soldiers from Northern Defense Command are dragged into darkness by juvenile Krakens. Some disappear instantly. Others scream as tentacles pull them beneath collapsing stone structures. Water pressure tears entire corridors apart. The lost city is dying. Lena struggles toward Elias through debris-filled currents. Elias, her voice breaks through radio static. We have to shut it down now. At the center of the chamber, Admiral Rayner continues forcing energy into the resonance core. The unstable frequencies spread across the ruins like a virus. But Rayner refuses to stop. He believes the Titan can still be controlled, even now, even while the world collapses around him. Captain Victor fights his way through flooding corridors toward the Admiral. Bodies drift silently through the water. Gunfire flashes between collapsing walls. Then suddenly, the chamber shakes with unimaginable force. Everything stops. Even the Krakens freeze. A shadow passes above the ruined ceiling. Massive, ancient, the Titan. It has reached the upper layers of the trench. And now, it is turning back toward the city. Lena stares upward in horror. It knows the resonance core is failing. The Titan releases a low-frequency pulse. Not an attack, a call. Every Kraken in the abyss answers instantly. Through the ruins, hundreds of glowing eyes appear in darkness. The entire colony is gathering. Elias finally understands. The Krakens are not preparing for war. They are preparing for sacrifice. Meanwhile, far above the ocean surface, the world descends into chaos. Gigantic waves slam into coastlines across Norway, Iceland, and Greenland. Oil rigs vanish beneath the sea. Military satellites capture terrifying images of enormous shadows moving beneath storm-covered waters. Governments across the world declare global emergency protocols. News broadcasts collapse into panic. People flee coastal cities. And still, nobody truly understands what is happening beneath the ocean. Inside the collapsing chamber, Elias reaches Admiral Rayner. He grabs the Admiral violently. You killed Noah for this. Rayner shoves him away. Your brother was weak. The Admiral's eyes burn with obsession. He wanted peace with monsters. I want control. Then he reveals the final truth. Noah was never supposed to die. After discovering the resonance system, Noah attempted using it to restore the Titan's hibernation cycle. But Northern Defense Command wanted the opposite. They wanted the Titan awake long enough to study its neural frequencies. So they sabotaged Noah's mission. The Kraken attack that destroyed Noah's expedition happened only after military forces opened fire first. Noah died trying to stop the battle. Elias nearly kills Rayner on the spot. But before he can react, the entire chamber begins tilting violently. Titan is moving directly beneath the ruins. Huge fractures split across the city floor. Ancient structures begin sinking into deeper trenches. Lena reaches the damaged resonance console. The energy overload cannot be reversed normally, but hidden within Noah's research files, she discovers something unexpected. The resonance system was never designed as a weapon. It was a communication network. The ancient civilization used harmonic frequencies to communicate with the Krakens, not control them. That changes everything. Lena realizes the Titan may not be attacking humanity intentionally. It may simply be responding to pain, confusion, fear. For thousands of years, the resonance system kept the Titan calm beneath the trench. Human interference disrupted the balance. Now the creature is reacting like a wounded god. Suddenly, a juvenile Kraken crashes into the chamber, not attacking, dying. Its body is covered in burn wounds from military explosives. The creature collapses near Elias. Its glowing eye slowly fixes on him. Then Elias experiences another vision. Not memories this time. Emotion, pain. The sensation floods directly into his mind. He sees oceans poisoned by human drilling, dead offspring floating through oil-filled waters, explosions tearing apart underwater ecosystems. The Kraken colony has suffered for decades, and humanity never even knew. The vision ends with one terrifying image: the Titan reaching the surface, entire continents drowned beneath storms. Elias suddenly understands Noah's final mission. His brother was not trying to destroy the creatures. He was trying to protect both species from mutual extinction. The dying juvenile touches Elias, suit gently with one tentacle. Then it stops moving. Silence fills the chamber. Even Captain Victor lowers his weapon. For the first time, the monsters no longer feel like monsters. But before anyone can process the moment, Admiral Rayner activates emergency transmission systems. A final military order broadcasts across every submarine frequency. Nuclear strike authorization confirmed. Impact in 22 minutes. Everyone freezes. Lena's face turns pale. If nuclear warheads hit the trench while the resonance network is unstable, the explosion could fracture tectonic plates beneath the Atlantic. Megatsunamis, volcanic chain reactions, possibly global extinction. Rayner believes the sacrifice is necessary. Humanity first. Always. Captain Victor finally snaps. He attacks the Admiral brutally. The two men struggle through flooding water, while alarms continue screaming around them. Elias ignores the fight. He focuses entirely on Noah's remaining files. One hidden message still remains encrypted. Lena manages to unlock it. Noah appears once again. This time he looks calm, accepting death. "If you found this," Noah says quietly. Then the city is collapsing. Listen carefully. The Resonance Network, Part 5, Rise of the Titans. harmonic chamber glows like the heart of another world. Blue energy pulses through the ancient crystalline towers, while the entire underwater city collapses around it. Commander Elias Kane stands silently before the central platform. He already knows what must happen. Someone has to remain behind. Someone has to complete the synchronization sequence manually. And once the process begins, the chamber will implode beneath the trench. No escape, no rescue, only darkness. Lena realizes it instantly. "No," she whispers. Elias turns toward her calmly. For the first time since the mission began, the anger inside him is gone. No more obsession, no more revenge, only clarity. "My brother died trying to protect this place," he says. "Now I understand why." Outside the chamber, gigantic shadows move through the abyss. The Kraken colony circles the ancient city silently, waiting. The Titan remains near the chamber entrance. Its enormous glowing eye watches Elias carefully. Not like prey, like recognition. Captain Victor struggles to his feet despite his injury. "We still have time," he says. "There has to be another option." But Lena already checked the systems. The harmonic synchronization can only be completed from inside the core itself. Once activated, the chamber will overload and collapse the lower trench. The pressure wave alone will vaporize everything nearby. Then suddenly, emergency transmissions explode across the submarine frequencies. Military voices scream over static. The nuclear missiles are only minutes away. Above the Atlantic Ocean, panic spreads across the world. Massive storms spiral across coastlines. Cities lose power. Entire ports vanish beneath giant waves. Thousands of people watch horrifying videos spreading online. Enormous tentacles rising through storm-covered seas. Ships disappearing into black water. And beneath the Northern Ocean, something gigantic moving toward the surface. Governments blame terrorist attacks, natural disasters, anything except the truth. But the truth can no longer stay hidden. The Titan is awake, and humanity caused it. Inside the harmonic chamber, Lena begins preparing the synchronization sequence. Ancient symbols activate across the crystalline walls. Deep musical vibrations echo through the ruins. Not mechanical sounds, voices. The lost resonance network is coming alive again. Elias studies the patterns carefully. The frequencies resemble whale songs mixed with impossible mathematical structures. The chamber was designed to connect minds, not command them. That changes everything. The ancient civilization never controlled the Krakens. They cooperated with them, side by side. Then suddenly, the Titan releases a massive pulse through the ocean. The entire chamber trembles. Outside the ruins, Krakens begin moving violently. The Titan is becoming unstable again. Lena checks the energy readings. The nuclear launch triggered its defense response. The creature senses the incoming attack, and now it is preparing for war. Far above the ocean surface, black storm clouds split apart. For the first time in history, humanity sees the Titan fully emerge. The Atlantic Ocean explodes upward. A colossal armored body rises through the storm, bigger than aircraft carriers, bigger than skyscrapers. The Titan's roar shakes military fleets apart. Destroyers capsize instantly. Jets spiral out of the sky from sonic shockwaves. Entire satellite systems fail worldwide. People across continents hear the sound. One ancient roar echoing through the planet. Panic erupts globally. Meanwhile, inside the trench, Elias experiences another vision. This one stronger than before. He suddenly sees Noah, standing inside the harmonic chamber years earlier. The vision feels real, almost alive. Noah turns toward him. "You finally understand them," he says softly. Elias realizes the resonance network preserved fragments of neural memory. The chamber can replay emotional imprints from those who used it before. Noah walks slowly through the vision. They aren't monsters, Elias. They're survivors, just like us. The vision shifts. Elias sees the ancient war thousands of years earlier. The Titan rampaging across oceans. The ancient civilization desperately trying to stop extinction. Then something shocking. The Titan was never evil. It went mad after losing its offspring during catastrophic planetary destruction. The Krakens sealed it beneath the trench, not as punishment, but mercy, to let it sleep, to let its pain fade. Human drilling reopened those wounds. The vision ends. Elias opens his eyes slowly. For the first time, he feels sympathy for the creature destroying the world, because pain created the monster, just like pain nearly destroyed him. Suddenly, the harmonic chamber alarms activate. One of the nuclear missiles changed trajectory. Instead of striking the surface trench, it is descending directly toward the underwater city. Impact in 8 minutes. Captain Victor curses violently. If the missile detonates beneath the trench before synchronization completes, the Titan will fully awaken beyond control. Global extinction becomes certain. Lena accelerates the resonance sequence, but the ancient systems resist. The network requires multiple harmonic channels activated simultaneously across different sections of the city. Most of those chambers were destroyed decades earlier. Then something incredible happens. The Kraken colony begins responding. Outside the ruins, giant Krakens position themselves around the city in perfect symmetry. Their bodies begin glowing with blue bioluminescent patterns. One by one, they release synchronized sonic pulses through the water. The colony itself becomes part of the resonance network. Lena stares in amazement. They remember how the system works. The creatures are helping, ancient guardians, continuing a duty older than human civilization. The harmonic chamber surges with energy. The Titan pauses. For the first time since awakening, it becomes still. Its massive eye closes halfway. listening. Then suddenly violent explosions shake the trench. Military deep strike drones descend into the ruins. Automated attack units. The surface command launched a final extermination protocol. Even after losing fleets, they still refuse to stop. The drones open fire instantly. Energy torpedoes rip through ancient structures. Several Krakens are torn apart. Blue blood fills the water. The Titan roars in fury. The synchronization destabilizes again. Ilias realizes the military will destroy everything before the process finishes. He grabs weapons from fallen soldiers. "I'll stop the drones," he says. Lena grabs his arm. "You won't make it back." Ilias gives a faint smile. "I know." Then he leaves the chamber alone. Outside the city, war erupts across the abyss. Massive drones attack from above, while Krakens defend the ruins desperately. Tentacles crush armored machines. Explosions light the darkness. Ancient creatures battle human technology beneath collapsing oceans. Ilias moves through the chaos, using damaged tunnels as cover. One drone spots him immediately. Gunfire tears through the corridor. He barely escapes before the wall explodes. Water pressure blasts him through another passage. As he struggles to stand, he discovers something horrifying. The drones are not targeting the Titan. They are targeting the Kraken eggs. Entire breeding chambers burn with fire and debris. Juvenile creatures die trapped beneath collapsing ruins. Ilias feels rage, unlike anything before. Humanity is repeating the same mistake again, destroying what it does not understand. One wounded juvenile Kraken crawls through debris nearby. Its glowing eye fixes on Ilias. The creature recognizes him. Slowly, it lowers itself beside him, almost offering help. Ilias climbs onto the creature's armored back. Together, they charge into the battlefield. The sequence becomes pure cinematic chaos. The juvenile Kraken launches through collapsing tunnels, while Ilias fires explosive rounds at incoming drones. Machines explode around them. Tentacles tear through steel. Blue energy flashes across the ruins. The ocean itself feels alive with war. Meanwhile, inside the harmonic chamber, Lena and Victor continue activating the resonance network. The synchronized frequencies spread through the trench. The Titan slowly descends lower, calming, almost sleeping. But the process is incomplete. Without the final core activation, everything will fail. Then Lena notices another horrifying reading. The missile approaching the trench carries thermonuclear payloads strong enough to fracture the entire seabed. Impact in 4 minutes. No time remains. Back in the battlefield, Ilias reaches the primary drone control tower, hidden within the ruins. An enormous automated machine connected directly to orbital targeting systems. If he destroys it, the missile lock may fail, but the structure is guarded by heavily armored combat drones. Ilias prepares for death. Then suddenly, the mother Kraken appears. The gigantic creature erupts from darkness like a living mountain. Its enormous tentacles rip through drones effortlessly. Machines explode in every direction. For one powerful moment, human technology looks tiny compared to the ancient force defending the trench. The mother Kraken lowers one giant eye toward Elias. There is intelligence there, understanding, perhaps even gratitude. Then the creature launches upward toward the incoming missile. Elias watches in shock. The mother Kraken knows. It intends to stop the strike itself. High above the ocean, the nuclear missile descends through storm clouds toward the trench. Military commanders prepare for impact. Then suddenly, the sea explodes. The mother Kraken bursts from the Atlantic like an ancient god. World cameras capture the impossible moment. The gigantic creature wraps around the missile in midair and detonates. The explosion blinds the horizon. A nuclear fireball consumes the ocean surface. Shockwaves spread across the sea. Military ships vaporize instantly. For several terrifying seconds, nobody knows if anything survived. Deep below the trench, the harmonic chamber nearly collapses from the blast pressure. Lena screams as systems overload. The Titan awakens again in agony. Its roar cracks the remaining city structures apart. The synchronization sequence reaches critical failure. Then suddenly, a final harmonic signal echoes through the trench. Soft, familiar, Noah's voice, hidden deep inside the resonance network. An old recording begins synchronizing automatically with the chamber, a calming frequency, the same frequency Noah used years earlier. The Titan slows. The Krakens answer the signal, and for the first time since awakening, the Titan stops fighting. Its enormous eye slowly closes. Lena realizes Noah designed the sequence to continue even after death. His final mission was never revenge. It was peace. But the harmonic chamber begins collapsing completely. The final manual activation must happen now, or everything ends. Elias returns to the chamber battered and bleeding. He looks at Lena, then at the collapsing core. Both of them understand there is only enough time for one person to escape. Part 5 ends as Elias locks the chamber doors behind him, while Lena screams helplessly from the other side. And deep beneath the collapsing trench, the Titan begins descending back into darkness. Part 6, the final descent. The chamber doors slam shut. Heavy ancient locks seal instantly. Lena pounds against the glass barrier, desperately. Elias, open the door. But Elias does not move. Blue resonance light reflects across his exhausted face, while the harmonic chamber shakes violently around him. Outside the collapsing ruins, the ocean trembles like the planet itself is breathing. The Titan is descending again, slowly, painfully, but the synchronization sequence is incomplete. If the chamber collapses before final activation, the Titan will awaken permanently, and humanity will never survive. Warning alarms echo through the ancient city. Structural failure imminent. 3 minutes remaining. Lena refuses to leave. She searches desperately for override controls, while Captain Victor drags himself toward the emergency submarine dock. Blood trails behind him through the flooded corridor. "We have to go," he shouts. But Lena keeps fighting the locks. Inside the chamber, Elias approaches the central platform. The harmonic core pulses beneath the floor like a giant heartbeat. Ancient symbols rotate through the air around him. The resonance network is alive, waiting, watching. Then suddenly, Noah appears. Not physically, a neural imprint, a preserved echo inside the harmonic system. The chamber recreates him through light and sound. For one impossible moment, Elias sees his brother standing there again, exactly as he remembered. Noah smiles faintly. "You finally made it." Elias cannot speak. All the anger, all the grief he carried for 10 years. Suddenly, it feels smaller. Noah walks slowly beside the glowing platform. "This place remembers everyone who used the network," he says. "It preserves emotional resonance." Elias laughs bitterly. "So you're a ghost now?" Noah smiles again. "Something like that." The chamber shakes violently. Chunks of the ceiling collapse into the abyss below. Outside the glass walls, giant Krakens continue circling the city, guardians waiting for the final outcome. Elias looks toward Noah. "I should have come after you sooner." "No," Noah answers quietly. "You came exactly when you needed to." For the first time since childhood, Elias feels peace. Meanwhile, above the Atlantic Ocean, the storm begins changing. Military fleets burn across black water. Emergency helicopters search through radioactive mist left behind by the nuclear explosion. Then radar systems detect something impossible. The Titan is retreating. The gigantic life form, once moving toward continents, is slowly descending back beneath the ocean. Global panic turns into confusion. Nobody understands why the apocalypse suddenly stopped. Deep beneath the trench, Lena finally reaches an ancient maintenance terminal. She bypasses the chamber systems desperately. A hidden emergency pathway opens, but the display reveals devastating truth. The moment final synchronization activates, the entire lower city will implode. Nothing inside the chamber will survive. Lena breaks down. She realizes Elias already knew and chose to stay anyway. Back inside the chamber, Noah guides Elias toward the harmonic controls. The platform begins unfolding like ancient machinery, awakening after thousands of years. Massive crystalline pillars rise from the floor. Blue energy surges across the walls. The resonance network prepares for final synchronization. Then suddenly, the Titan speaks, not through words, through feeling. A deep emotional wave crashes into Elias' mind. Loneliness, grief, endless sleep beneath darkness. The Titan was never trying to conquer humanity. It woke terrified and confused after centuries of isolation. Human attacks only made its fear become rage. Elias sees visions flooding around him. Ancient oceans, the Titan protecting its offspring before planetary destruction wiped them out. The Krakens surrounding the creature afterward, singing harmonic frequencies to calm its pain. For millions of years, they remained guardians, waiting beside a grieving god. Elias understands now. This entire war started because humanity mistook pain for evil. Outside the chamber, Lena reaches the emergency passage. She sees Elias through layers of glass and flooding water. "Please," she whispers. Elias turns toward her one final time. Even through the chaos, he smiles. Not a tragic smile, a peaceful one. "You were right," he tells her through radio static. They were never monsters. The chamber alarms intensify. Final synchronization required. 1 minute remaining. Noah steps back toward the glowing light. His neural imprint begins fading. Before disappearing, he looks at Elias one final time. "You don't have to carry me anymore." Then he's gone. Only silence remains. Elias closes his eyes, then activates the sequence. Instantly, the harmonic chamber erupts with blinding blue light. Massive resonance waves explode outward through the trench. Across the abyss, every Kraken answers. The colony releases synchronized sonic pulses together. The ocean itself vibrates with ancient music. The Titan stops moving completely. Its enormous glowing, eyes slowly close. For the first time in millions of years, the creature finally rests. Above the Atlantic, the storms begin fading. Massive waves settle. The black ocean calms. Military commanders stare at radar screens in disbelief. As the colossal life form disappears beneath the trench once more, the apocalypse ends. But below, the city begins collapsing. The harmonic core overloads beyond containment. Ancient structures crumble into darkness. Floodwaters explode through the chamber. Lena screams Elia's name, while Victor forces her toward the submarine. There's no time. The remaining Krakens begin retreating deeper into the abyss, carrying surviving offspring toward the lower trenches. The Guardians are leaving. The ancient city has fulfilled its final purpose. Inside the chamber, Elias stands alone while the world collapses around him. Water rushes upward